Hey guys, so I just want to talk about something that's been bothering me lately. There is a saying, that which is meant for you will not pass you by. I've heard it quite a lot over the past couple of years. It's kind of been in my consciousness for a while. You hear this one banded around, but I saw it again this morning and I was like, I feel the need to talk about this one. Um, because to me there's definitely some misconceptions about spiritual path, about our path in life, that I think this particular saying plays into, and that bothers me, so I want to have a conversation about it. Okay. um so as a psychic, someone who reads all sorts of cards, tarot cards, oracle cards, I've got some oracle cards here with me today. I am going to pull one. I'm going to sit here just casually shuffling them for a minute. But that which is meant for you will not pass you. You see, that bothers me because I know that your future is not set in stone. All right. When someone comes to me for a reading, I'm not going to sit there and go, right, here is your fortune. My fortune. I'm not a fortune teller. Okay, because your future is not set in stone. That's just not the nature of the reality that we're in at this point. Okay, it may have been in the past, but certainly moving into the energy of the age of Aquarius, that's just not true. We have choices. We have free will. Okay, we have agency, sovereignty over our lives, self-sovereignty, and it's very important that we continue to take self-sovereignty and treat that like it's very important in our lives, because it is. So that's what I want to talk about today. I don't like this kind of fatalistic view that all things will happen if they're meant to happen. That really pisses me off, because that's just not reality. Okay, so when someone comes to me for a reading, I'm going to tell them what's most likely to happen on their path, and there may be more than one path that I can actually see opening up for them, and I will let them know what their choices are and what actions are most likely going to get them the outcomes that they want as well. It's not about saying, oh, well, this is your path, that's your fate, and that's that, because it's just not true anymore. That's not how this reality works in the slightest. Okay, I find that very interesting. That which is meant for you will not pass you by. Okay, so some things are fated, but they are beginnings. Beginnings. Meeting people can be fated. Meeting a specific person can be fated, with a potential for something to happen. A friendship, a partnership, a romantic relationship, a business, for example. But what happens from there on out is dependent on both parties and what they both choose to do. Each one of them chooses to do individually and together. The ending is not promised. Okay, just because you've met somebody that you have a powerful connection with, that feels like a fated meeting, yes, the meeting was fated, the outcome is not. Okay, there could be a potential timelines that have been set up for you, but they or you may not choose to follow them. You may decide to do something different. You may not be healed enough to be able to take that opportunity at that time. You may have not followed your intuition, your guidance. You may have not done your healing work or your growth, your emotional growth, your spiritual growth in this lifetime to a point where you feel able to do that or even want to do that. Or you might be in a very dark place where you're self-destructive, or they may, you know. And there's no judgment on that, okay? I'm not here to judge anyone and say you're doing it wrong. Okay. But you do have fated meetings. People do come into your life for a reason, and they may not stay. Okay, so, or they may not choose to move in the direction you were expecting, whatever that connection is, to move in. That can really be shocking. Sometimes it can be surprising. So I just wanted to clarify that. To me, that expression can only ever apply to beginnings, not to endings, to outcomes. Okay. And I just pulled a card as we were talking, and it's called Be Vigilant, and it has a dragon on it. And as you know, my YouTube channel where I do my card readings is called Cosmic Dragon Tarot. So the dragon energy coming in very strongly, and this is very earthy, down to earth energy. I feel is reminding us to be down to earth, to be practical, not to hold on to something just because it feels fated, not to try and make something fit, not to live in delusion. I want to say, be very real, be very practical about what things are happening. You may feel a powerful soul connection with somebody. You may know perfectly well your connection is fated, and that something was perhaps intended by your souls to happen in this lifetime. Could be romantic, could be business, could be friendship, whatever. And it may not have gone that way because they made different choices, which may have been very disappointing to you. Don't stay in delusion, all right? Step away from it. Be very practical. Even if you can sense other things happening, you have to judge these people based on their behavior, because it's up to them to make the changes if they want to come back to you. If they want to be a part of your life, they must make those changes. Don't excuse them based on what you can sense that they're really thinking or really feeling, or feeling for you on a high level, on a 5D level. Let us not fall into delusion. I was thinking about this earlier, and I was pulling some cards from one of my tarot decks, and the first card that came out was the Devil. So I think the problem here is we can really get stuck in our head about all of these things. And if somebody wants to be in your life, they will make efforts to do it. All right. Don't hold on. Don't hold out. Wait for them if they're not taking the steps they need to take. Okay, because it's not all about you making everything work. It's not your responsibility to take somebody else's actions for them. It's absolutely their responsibility on their soul's path. Otherwise, they won't grow. And they may take them. They may catch up with you. It may take them 2.5 years to do it, like it did Mr. Moderator. But I didn't do the work for him. He had to do it for himself. So, our dragon here, be vigilant. Be vigilant of your thoughts, okay? Be very realistic. Be very real about what's actually happening in your life right now. Yes, of course, sense, feel, intuit what's going on around you. And you may be correct about all of those things, but remember, behavior is a language. So we must also consider what's actually happening in the 3D, and not just live in a 5D reality, you know, in our intuition. Well, on an intuitive level, I know this is reality, and I know this person thinks and feels this, they're just not doing it. Well, tough. If they're not doing it, they don't get to have it. So there we go. That was my thought for the day. Let me know if it was helpful. Please leave me a comment. I'll see you guys later.